All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Felix Fasheen. I serve as Deputy Chief of Staff to County Executive Calvin Ball in Howard County. Welcome to the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory here in Laurel. We're grateful to be joined by many friends and transportation partners this morning. And to kick off our program, I'd like to invite up our very own Howard County Executive, Dr. Calvin Ball. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Felix. I am thrilled to be here at APL alongside many of our other elected officials, employers, community leaders, transportation partners as we take a monumental step toward a more sustainable, accessible, connected Howard County. More than a decade ago, Howard County began laying the groundwork for bus rapid transit. As vibrant communities like Maple Lawn emerged and the downtown Columbia plan took shape, it became clear that the strong transit connections would be vital to support our residents, our workforce, and our businesses. And now, after many years of planning, we are delivering on that vision. Today, we're gathered at the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory, the largest private employer right here in Howard County, and with a national leader in research, engineering, and technology. With more than 8,000 employees commuting from across our county, state, and region, APL is a perfect example of why strategic modern transit investments are essential. As our community grows, transportation remains central to our economic success and quality of life. To build a resilient and inclusive future, we must invest in affordable, efficient, and high-quality public transportation that meets the needs of our residents and workers. And that's why I'm proud to announce a major leap forward, a new partnership between Howard County and Montgomery County to bring the Flash Bus Rapid Transit Service right here to Howard County. Flash is fast, Flash is reliable, Flash is efficient transit system that will provide high-quality transit along the US 29 corridor. Through this partnership, Howard County will construct new Flash bus stations in Maple Lawn, downtown Columbia, and right here at the APL campus in Laurel. This spring, Howard County entered into a formal memorandum of understanding with Montgomery County, and today we will sign a letter of intent to further cement our collaboration to bring Flash to Howard County. Starting in 2026, Flash buses will operate during peak hours between Silver Spring and downtown Columbia, creating critical connections to Metro and other transit operations in the Washington, D.C. region. We have strategically chosen Maple Lawn, downtown Columbia, and APL as our first locations to deliver bus rapid transit services due to key demand and transit opportunities in each area. Maple Lawn is a vibrant shopping, retail, employment, and residential community that spans more than 600 acres and is home to more than 1,300 families. Downtown Columbia is undergoing a transformative 30-year redevelopment plan and will bring approximately 12,000 residents and hundreds of businesses to this mixed-use community. And APL remains Howard County's largest private employer and a major driver of our local economy, drawing employees to Howard County from Baltimore and Washington regions at their campus for more than 450 acres. Planning for the Flash service has been more than a decade in the making, with Howard County's first BRT concept study in 2012 after the adoption of the Maple Lawn Development Plan and the Downtown Columbia Plan. Following that 2012 study, the county completed several additional planning studies, including a BRT ridership study in 2019, And forecasted ridership results projected robust daily BRT boardings under different service scenarios that were modeled, with expected daily ridership of thousands of residents and employees along the entire corridor. Today, more than 2,500 people ride the existing Flash service every day in Montgomery County, and that number continues to grow each year. Here in Howard County, our RTA transit service has fully rebounded since the pandemic, and we expect to reach 1 million rides through RTA this year. This demonstrates that demand for transit services and connections continues to grow in both of our counties. Today's announcement takes our many years of planning and translates them into action, with the promise of Flash BRT service along the 29 corridor moving forward in 2026. This milestone would not be possible without the leadership and collaboration of my friend and colleague, Montgomery County Executive Mark Elrich. Thank you, Mark, for your vision and your partnership in bringing this vision to reality. We are proud to be your neighbors and advance this project together. We also thank our federal partners, Senators Van Hollen and Alsobrooks, Representatives Elfrith and Raskin, former Senator Ben Cardin, and former Representative John Sarbanes, for their steadfast support. They have recognized the value of the Flash system and directed more than $4 million in federal funding to support Flash bus purchases and bus stop construction. I also want to recognize Governor Wes Moore, the Maryland General Assembly, and the Maryland Department of Transportation for championing regional connectivity and public transit investments. Here at home, I want to recognize and thank our county council for voting earlier this spring to approve this partnership and allocating approximately $3 million in local funding to bring Flash to our community. And finally, thank you to our community members, business leaders, residents in Maple Lawn, downtown Columbia, and APL, many of whom are with us today. Your engagement and support were key in making this service a success and connecting thousands of people to jobs, education, and opportunities across the region. Today, as we launch our Flash partnership, we affirm that high-quality transportation is central to a vibrant, successful, and inclusive economy. Together, we are building that future and creating a more connected, sustainable, vibrant Howard County, Maryland, and nation for all. Thank you.
Thank you, County Executive Ball. It is always a great day when neighbors can come together and advance a partnership together. So with that, I'd like to introduce Montgomery County Executive Mark Elrich.
Thank you, Calvin. It's really great to be up here. I don't know how many people know this, but I think the first time I came up to Howard County to talk about bus rapid transit was somewhere around 2010. That's how long people have been working on this, and it's a long time. We started out, it was actually myself and one of my aides in my office looked at all the origin destination pairs within Montgomery County, and we mapped out that map you see up there about where the bus rapid transit would have to run. And it actually got passed by the planning board and the council as the right network to build. And I always thought from day one about the connection to Howard County, because so many of your people drive down on Route 29, which is a hellacious human experience. When I was on the council, sometimes I would drive up to Burtonsville and I would compare the time going down 29, what that was like, and I also go across county on 198 to compare that to what they wanted to do with the ICC. I never understood the ICC, even after driving through those experiences. 29 was always the problem. And I think this gives us an opportunity finally to address 29. And I think, as you can see from the chart, every time this line intersects with another line, it's a transfer station. So once you get down there, you can get into the District of Columbia. You can get to every center in Montgomery County, not just Silver Spring, but we're talking Bethesda all the way up to Shady Grove. So the opportunities to connect workers, your citizens, to opportunities in Montgomery County and vice versa is really, really important. So I'm really excited about this. We're actively building out the Flash network now. We're working on Veers Mill Road, I guess is the first one that'll probably get a shovel in the ground, and as well as expanding 29 to bring in the actual dedicated lanes, which need to be here. And this is, of all the places, this is the easiest place to build dedicated lanes. As long as we've got these median strips, that is not a problem. When you get into a more urban setting with curbs and then buildings on the other side of the curbs, that becomes more of a challenge. But this is certainly going to be important. And we built our first extension up here, and it's not fully, it's up to Flash, but up to Burtonsville, but it's not fully a BRT because it's still running in mixed traffic. This will take our end of it to the next level, and I think it's helped push us to take the steps to move that forward faster. You also get connected to the Metro Red Line, you get connected to the Brunswick Line, and the future MTA Purple Line, some year in the future. Maybe 27? I'm dead in 28. I expect this is going to expand tourism for both counties. It's going to improve our businesses. It's going to provide more economic opportunity. We have a lot of entertainment venues in Montgomery County, like the Strathmore and the Fillmore. Different types of people go to those two different places, but they both fill up. And I drive up here to Meriwether, which is one of my favorite places to go and listen to music. So we're all kind of bound together anyway. You even have a Busboys and Poets. So we're tied together, we have a lot in common, and we've got real opportunities. And so this is going to make this corridor, I think, more economically vibrant than it's ever been, and it's going to help all of us advance our interests. It's not just building the transportation, but the economic development that comes along with it. And so between the economic development and trying to make life more pleasant for people trying to get to work, I think we're doing a great thing. I welcome this partnership. It is really great to get to the point where we're sitting down and saying, let's go. So we're ready to go, and looking forward to our progress. Thank you.
Thank you, County Executive. Now please join me in welcoming Joe McAndrew, Assistant Secretary for the Maryland Department of Transportation.
Good morning. Thank you, Felix. Thank you, County Executives. On behalf of Governor Wes Moore and Maryland's Transportation Secretary Paul Wiedefeld, I'm thrilled to be here today with our local and federal partners to proudly support the Flash's US 29 extension into Howard County. I love that this is my second transit-focused event in a week, less than a week, with many of you. Last Friday, we were celebrating the 50th anniversary of the ride-on system in Montgomery County. It just goes to show that the state is proud to support and ultimately supporting an increasing bus priority across Maryland. As many of our transit-competitive priority corridors that we're trying to increase transit service actually run on state facilities, state highway facilities. We have a vested responsibility and an opportunity to partner with our locals and make sure that we can move these buses efficiently through these corridors. And so that is what we're doing. We've done an MOU with Montgomery County to develop expansion of bus rapid transit and bus priority on our facilities. We look forward to doing that statewide. We are seeing the benefits of bus rapid transit in action, especially with SHA and Montgomery County again working most recently on Georgia Avenue on a dedicated bus lane priority last summer in response to the shutdown of the Red Line. We quickly jumped into gear and dedicated over 7 miles of space on Georgia Avenue for the movement of buses between Glenmont and Silver Spring. And from those lessons, we've made those permanent. And what does that mean? Well, during an evaluation last fall, we found that bus speeds along the corridor increased by up to 32%. The average bus reliability increased by up to 18% to the same time the year before. That's important for our transit-dependent riders that need to get to the jobs on time to clock in and make it home in time to put food on the table. It also is important because it grew our ridership by 13% on Montgomery County service as well as WMATA's. And what's important is that these positive trends are continuing and they're compounding this year. Thanks to Governor Moore's budget, the State Highway Administration also has $1 million set aside to support partnerships with the counties here, but also throughout the state for bus rapid transit and bus priority support in this year's budget. This complements $27 million in annual funding provided by the state for dedicated bus rapid transit projects. It also complements Maryland Transit Administration's continued support with financial assistance through the locally operated transit systems, such as funds that go to RTA and the Flash. These actions show MDOT's and the governor's commitment to support our local transit priorities and needs. By working together, we can move more people more safely, efficiently, and reliably. I'm going to close with a story that I think is important to note that, shows when folks raise their hand and ask for help, you've got a willing partner, both with the governor and with Secretary Wiedefeld. When presented with a request recently from the State Highway Administration to prioritize buses on one of our congested corridors, the presentation was great. It was very easy to say yes. Secretary Wiedefeld agreed, but he didn't stop there. He said to myself, to my colleagues here, as well as our State Highway Administrator, this is us being a good neighbor, but is it time for us to be a leader, right? Our counties rely on us. It's our facilities that people are using. Should we be leading and asking for our counties to come with us on it instead of being a laggard? And I think that's really what we're trying to do with that $1 million, with that $27 million, is to refocus our facilities and start to think about moving people, not just the private vehicle. And so that's where we're heading. Today's announcement is a great example of that. It's an early start of what we can do when we work together across county lines to better connect Marylanders to jobs and opportunities. And we're excited to do it. And thank you for the opportunity to partner.
Thank you, Joe. As the county executive mentioned, we really could not do this without tremendous partners in our business sector and our workforce. And so I'd like to please welcome up Eric Johnson, Chief of Staff for Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory.
I'm not going to touch the microphone, so. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of our director, Ralph Semmel, and everyone here at the laboratory, I want to extend a warm welcome to Howard County Executive Ball, Montgomery County Executive Elrich, Assistant Secretary McAndrew, and all of our guests here today. It is really great to have you here at the laboratory. Today, we're thrilled to be able to host this announcement about Montgomery County's Flash Bus rapid transit service route expansion into Howard County, which, as you heard from Dr. Ball, is slated to open next year. We're excited that it will add another public transit option for the workforce here at APL and other area businesses, and we know that it will create stronger connections between Howard and Montgomery counties and the surrounding region. And speaking of connections, I'll mention here, the laboratory actually has its roots in both Montgomery and Howard counties. Now, we've been here at the Johns Hopkins Road campus since about 1954, but the laboratory actually got its start in a used car garage, like all great tech companies, down in Silver Spring back in 1942. And since then, the dedicated staff here at APL have been focused on delivering critical contributions to critical national technical challenges in national security and space exploration. And as you can probably tell from the full parking lots that you drove past on the way in, that important work continues still today in full swing. As Dr. Ball noted, we are Howard County's largest employer, and just under half of our now 9,000 employees here at the laboratory live in and commute to the lab from both Howard and Montgomery counties. So this expansion is a great example of government, businesses, and communities working together to deliver improved infrastructure for the amazing people and innovative companies that call Howard County, Montgomery County, and Maryland home. I am quite confident that it will get ample use by APL staff members and that other local businesses and organizations and the people who work there will benefit from this new line as well. So thank you again for being here at APL and for letting us participate in this exciting announcement. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Now I'd like to invite up Trey Dickerson, Administrator for the Howard County Office of Transportation.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. It is a pleasure to be here for the ceremonial signing of the Flash Bus Project. Through collaborative efforts between Howard County, Montgomery County, we're excited to bring this over a decade-long project into fruition. Howard County has received a significant investment of Flash bus stops and related infrastructure, including a federal congressional directed spending grant in the amount of $750,000, along with $1.4 million in county funding. Additionally, we will enhance services by integrating real-time transit information, which will benefit both riders and local businesses, along with raised platforms for boarding, prefabricated transit shelters, bike racks, seating, and lighting. The US 29 Flash extension is a vital project that will improve connectivity with both communities. I would like to extend our gratitude to our partners, Montgomery County, Maryland Department of Transportation, our state delegates, Howard County Council, and the US Department of Transportation. I would also like to take the time to give a special thanks to the Office of Transportation staff who has worked on this from day one, specifically Mr. David Cookson. Thank you.
Thank you, Trey. And finally, we will hear from Joanna Conklin, the Manager of Transit Development, Advancement, and Innovation for Montgomery County.
Thank you. I have been working on Montgomery County's bus rapid transit program for over 10 years. I didn't want to break it. Including the opening of the first BRT line in Maryland on US 29 in 2020. I'm very excited to be here today to commemorate the cooperation between Montgomery and Howard counties to extend this line to Columbia. This expansion demonstrates the impact that regional partnerships can have on our communities. The Flash on US Route 29 has consistently ranked as one of the county's top 5 most popular routes, with 2,500 passengers every weekday. This route already represents about 5% of our total bus ridership in the county. Montgomery County serves as a gateway to and from the rest of the Washington, D.C. region, and that exemplifies the importance of having a regional perspective when planning our transit network. As mentioned, Howard and Montgomery counties have been awarded federal funding to support this extension. We recently received notice that Montgomery County's grant covering the purchase of additional Flash buses to be able to extend the service has been approved. This grant will provide us with $3 million of federal funds to purchase the buses for the Flash expansion, with another $1 million being provided by Howard County. I want to thank our state and federal elected officials, several of who are represented here today, for supporting this grant. I would also like to thank and acknowledge the Maryland Department of Transportation and Governor Moore for the state's support of our BRT program. As County Executive Elrich noted, we are actively building out the Flash network along Montgomery County's highest traveled corridors. Construction will start later this year on our next Flash BRT corridor on Veers Mill Road, which will have portions of dedicated bus lanes. Central Rockville Pike will follow the Veers Mill opening. Both projects are in line for federal funding. The Flash BRT connection into Howard County will support the growing population and development in both counties, improving access to jobs and affordable housing for our residents. Together with Howard County, we will work toward opening the new service in 2026. Now that federal funding has been secured for the vehicles, we will begin their procurement and will continue to work with Howard County on their construction of the Flash stations, for which a federal grant has also been awarded. We are proud to support the Flash BRT expansion, and I want to thank Howard County for being a partner as we change and upgrade the way our region connects. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanna. Before we close the program, I just want to recognize a few special guests who we have here today. We have Delegate Terry Hill from District 12A. We have Jessica Kleitman representing United States Senator Chris Van Hollen. We have Danielle Aquara representing Congresswoman Sarah Elfreth. And I want to thank the many members of our Multimodal Transportation Board, our RTA Commission, and all of our staff members in Howard County Office of Transportation, Department of Public Works, and Montgomery County Department of Transportation for your attendance as well. So thank you all for your partnership and support. Now, I'd like to invite up County Executives Ball and Elrich to our table to sign a joint letter of intent that outlines the county's commitment to deliver the Flash Extension service.